Hey everybody, and welcome to the Stanley Parable episode 5, I think we're on now. Getting towards the end of the game, finally. We've seen most of the endings. So what we're going to start off with is a friend who watches these videos, Bin Laden. He mentioned to me that what we've never done is we've never actually gone through with doing everything opposite the narrator says. So that's what we're going to do right now.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Oh, we want to see weather, but you just talked about the weather. I don't know. Alright, so our first choice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which means we're gonna go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep, we always like to admire our employee lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Alright, no choices here.
It had really been worth the detour up, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright, so this is where we go straight then, since we're not going left.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So we're gonna keep going. Now we're only gonna, there's a couple of choices, and we've done some of them, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the opposite of what he says, so if he doesn't do anything, we'll continue on straight. Does that make sense?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Oh,
I
really?
realize that investing your trust
you were.
in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Oh yeah, this is the for her
This
ending.
is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
So this is where he
You
tells
need
us
to
to
be
put
the
the
one
phone,
to do
and we're gonna
this. Oh,
unplug it.
no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
Yes, I
Now,
did.
that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You
Well, it was a
actually
choice, wasn't it?
chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
But
Not
I didn't do
picking
that.
up the phone is actually somehow an
And we picked up
incorrect
the
course of
phone, so
action.
we know that that's
How is
not
that
the
even
true
possible?
ending.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
So Stanley's not a real person.
I can't
Of course.
believe I was so
Alright,
mistaken.
so we've
This
gone
is
through
why
this
you've been able
ending
to
and
make
listened to
correct
him
and
before.
incorrect
So what I'm
choice.
going to do is I'm going to go ahead and begin the game again. Alright, so that's the opposite, if you do everything opposite of what the narrator says. Alright, so let's go back to some endings we haven't seen. If you remember correctly, when we went, I think in the very first episode, we went and we could turn the power on or off. And we turned it off and we exited and we're free, which was great. But we have the option of turning the power back on, and we didn't do that. So let's go ahead and head that way.
All of his co-workers were...
And I'll show you what you mean if you don't remember, since that was a while ago.
This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
So it's where we follow everything he says except for the last step. So we know we're going to go through the door
When
on the
Stanley
left.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And run around like a crazy person through the hallways again and again and again.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Alright,
Coming
well,
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right, over here.
Stepping
Okay.
into his manager's office,
Now we know
Stanley
that
was once again
2845,
stunned
'cause
to
we've done this
discover not
before.
an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Sorry.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. so he relaxed
I'm not
for a
anxious.
few moments with
I
some
don't care
calming
what you
new
say, I'm
age
not
music.
anxious. Ooh, music is so cool, and I can't sing. Okay. I think the music makes me
Feeling
more anxious,
soothed
not less
and
anxious.
rejuvenated,
I'm just
Stanley
waiting.
calmly walked
There we go.
forward into the opened passageway.
There we go. And down we go. And we're loading. I love these loading screens. Not really. I hate loading screens. It's one of the things I hate most about games, actually. Any game, it doesn't matter. I just hate waiting on the loading screen. I'm always sitting here, like, tapping my foot. It's crazy. I don't know why it makes me so impatient, but it does. Games like this aren't too bad. There's not too many loading screens and they don't take too long. But some games, like The Witcher, I was playing The Witcher, and I don't know why. It seems like I'm always having to load and the loading screens take
Descending
forever.
deeper into the building,
Okay, back to the
Stanley
game.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yes, we know. Gonna go around.
Stanley walked
Here we
straight
go.
ahead through the large door that read
Okay,
Mind
we haven't
Control
gone down the
Facility.
escape hallway. We'll come back. We'll do that next. Alright, so now we're gonna press all these buttons.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
Oh,
thought
we were up
to
there
himself.
before?
Did he
So
have the
long
strength
ago.
to find out?
It does seem like so long ago. I mean, I've put... I don't know, let's see, we're on 5 episodes, about a half hour long, so about 2.5 hours,
Now
but
the
it's not
monitors
terribly
jumped to
long for a
life,
game.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals
Oh, look, this one's
reduced
got
to
a red
images
screen.
on a screen. And
I don't see any
Stanley,
blue
one
screens,
of them,
though.
eternally monitored
No
in this
traditional blue
place
screen, that's
where
kind of
freedom
disappointing,
meant
now that I
nothing.
realize it. I mean, the red text, I guess, is the same thing, but you gotta have a blue screen of death. Alright, come on, we've done all this
This
before.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Well, that depends. Are we a real person or not?
No.
Because
He
depends on the
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Oh, look, there's
His
one that says
own
pirate.
life in someone
Rawr,
else's
I'm a pirate.
control.
It's not rawr,
Never.
it's arr.
It was unthinkable.
Still not very good at that.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Totally possible.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking,
Console
eating,
disabled.
working.
Wonder why.
All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
I was, like, running
Stanley
around
decided
pressing
that this
buttons.
machinery would never
though-
again exert its terrible power
I don't
over
quite understand
another human life.
The point of down
For
there,
he
but
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
alright, here we go. Alright, this is where we turn it on or off. Now, last time we touched the off, like I said, and we went outside. The big door lowered. We were free, so let's see what happens if we turn it on.
Oh, Stanley,
Dun.
you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear
was no place for
detonators are
DNA.
set to explode,
Was there?
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I
you just
had
want
in
me to
mind.
turn it
What a
off.
shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
No, you would never know
What's
where
that?
to start.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Probably will die if I
I
turn it off.
erased them.
I'm not going to do
I
it.
turned off the machine.
I
I
refuse
set you
to do it.
free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
So there are
Other
no
times,
coworkers.
I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Wait, we've never
I
seen
have
that.
to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching
know
you
if that-
try to make
that
sense
actually
of everything
exists in
and
the
take
game,
back the
to be
control
honest.
wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
Oh, I'm
you
sure
know
you
what?
are.
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Apparently it does. Apparently
Oh,
you
dear
just
me,
picked it
what's
right
the
off
matter,
the tree.
Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
No,
Or
you
did
want me
just
to turn the
assume
button
when you
off.
saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this
I'm
room.
not doing anything.
These numbered buttons. No,
I'm waiting for the
these
explosion,
colored ones. Or maybe
which
this
you
big red
say
button.
is going to
Or
happen.
this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No, I don't have a purpose.
You're in for quite
My
a
purpose is
disappointment.
to disturb
But here's a
you
spoiler
and
for
annoy you.
That timer isn't a catalyst to
Keep your
keep the
life
action
interesting.
moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
But I'm not humble,
This
am
is not
I?
a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No end.
I'm waiting for it.
Just
I
you
can't wait for the big
broken
boom.
pieces.
It's coming.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Explosion. It's kind of like what they say, like a nuclear bomb is. Everything just disappears. And I bet you we start back at the beginning. How much you want to bet? Oh, loading screen, loading screen. How I love the loading screen. Not. Love how it just jumps from like nothing to almost done. I don't know why it does that. It's not very smooth. And it only does that when I restart. I wonder if that happens for anybody else. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just crazy. Now I sound like the narrator. I'm talking to you guys, but I feel like I'm talking to myself. Alright, so the next,
All of his
that's one
co-workers
ending.
were gone. What could it mean?
We're gonna put off
Stanley
the
decided
escape
to go to the
ending
meeting
to
room.
last
Perhaps
because
he
it
had
sounds
simply
like
missed a memo.
fun. I don't know what's there, but escaping sounds like a great thing to leave till last. There's a couple other, or one other
When
kind of
Stanley came to
scenario
a set
that
of
I've
two
been
open
told
doors,
that I
this
should
was
go
not
do.
the correct way to the meeting
And that
room,
is to
and
go
Stanley
back
knew it
to where we
perfectly
went through
well.
the red and blue doors
Perhaps
and we
he
kept
wanted
going
to
through the
stop by the
blue.
employee lounge
And
first, just
what
to
happened?
admire it.
Oh, we hit the big red button. Remember, I decided not to keep hitting the big red button.
Yes.
Okay,
This room.
so I've heard that when I
But
play the
eager to
games
get
and I
back
rank
to
them, that
business,
I should
Stanley
rank them
took the
higher.
first open door
So we're
on
gonna
his
go see
left.
what narration we get then. So,
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
let's see if I can remember
it's
how to get there. I
incredible
think
he
I have to
wasn't
jump off
5
this and
years
then go
ago.
down instead of up. If
Look,
I remember
Stanley, I
correctly.
think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Have we ever just
I'm
jumped
not
off?
your enemy, really, I'm not.
I don't think I have.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
I died.
Good job, Stanley.
Go figure.
Everyone thinks
Just
you are
curious.
very powerful.
Very impulsive of me, I know. Sorry. Okay, seriously, this time we're gonna go play those games again. We're gonna rank them higher and see how different the ending is. Or at least the narration. Or see if we get different games. I don't know.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of two open
door.
doors, this was
Alright,
not
I
the
promise
correct
not
way
to
to
jump
the
off the
meeting
platform
room,
this
and
time.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I do wish there was a way to, like, run and
Stanley
make
was so
this a
bad
little
at
bit
following
faster.
directions.
It's kind of the only
incredible he
downfall
wasn't
of all
5
this
years
repeating.
ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yes, you're going
I'm
to
not
mention
your
her.
enemy, really, I'm not.
Her who does
I
not have a
realize that
name.
investing
Her
your
who does not
trust
really
in someone else
exist.
can
Just
be
made her
difficult,
up
but the fact
to make me
is that
question
the story
myself.
has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone
And
you've
jump.
forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Always say that.
Look, let me prove it.
Okay,
let me
we're
prove
gonna go
that I'm
through
on your
the
side.
blue door.
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
I remember correctly, we just
Stanley
keep going
walked
through blue.
through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley.
There we go.
You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this
I do.
road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken
But I'm
rooms,
here now.
exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Of course we're gonna go, because you told us to, but that's not why we're going. We're going because
Okay,
it's interesting.
I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel
Yes.
free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha!
There
You
we go.
see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How
From
did
me.
I know the game needed a third door?
Because I refuse to follow you.
It's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Alright, I really enjoyed this screen. I don't know why, but the first time we went through it, just... I don't know. I thought it ingenious. Okay.
Now, Would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking
Yes.
through doors? Again,
Yes.
honest answers, please.
5. I'm gonna rate it all
I
5.
nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
No, not at
Perfect.
all.
Let me boot it up.
Oh, it's green.
In
This game.
the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't
4
you give it
hours?
4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Alright, so last time we only lasted about 4 seconds, maybe 4 button presses before I got annoyed. But since he talks about 4 hours, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play for 4 hours. Well, I might sit here and watch my computer play for me for 4 hours. And at the beginning of episode 6, what I'll do is I will let you see what happens. And that way you can skip 4 hours of play. So we're going to stop there, and we'll do the escape scenario that we saw next time. And during episode 6, I think that will be the last 2 endings that I know of. We'll explore, see if there's any more endings that I missed. We'll look into some fun things that you can do that are in the game that we haven't yet explored. A few little odds and ends that aren't endings, but they're fun. And then we'll have finished the Stanley Parable. Catch you guys next time.